For those of you who have followed me for a while, you know I like decent audio and emphasize that audio is really important. In fact, it's the most important thing, in my opinion, for when it comes to making your YouTube live stream or Zoom calls. So I thought it'd be fun in this video to test a $55 microphone, which is the Fifine AM8. It's a USB and XLR combined microphone that should be easy as pie to connect to your system. I've seen a few videos on this already, but I thought I'd buy one myself, test it out and see if it's a good option as a starter microphone for those of you that are just setting off on your YouTube live stream or meetings journey. So here it is. Here is the Fifine microphone. It comes in this very nice box. I opted to go for the white version. I've got enough black microphones and gear in my studio, so I thought I'd mix it up with white. So let's unbox it. Let's see if we can unbox this thing. So first off, it's a very nice box. You get the user guide and you get the stand. Now this thing comes with a stand, as you can see here. It's got a rubber base on it. It's okay. And then let's look at the microphone itself. Oh, there it is. As you can see, let me just grab this out of here. Not the easiest thing to grab out. Look at that. It comes with a very nice windshield. It's got a little yoke on it there. It's got a standard thread so you can connect any type of microphone stand to it. And as you can see underneath, it has got both XLR and USB. So it is plug and play, but if you want to mix it up and plug it into a Rodecaster, you can do that as well. All right, let's get rid of the boxes. Let's get rid of all the stuff. Let's get rid of all this and let's have a look at how this microphone sounds when you connect it to your system. So I've got the microphone plugged in. It does have a 3.5mm jack at the back to plug in your headphones. It's the first time I'm actually hearing it. So all right. I'll have to play it back, obviously, to hear what it sounds like. So there are a couple of controls on here. The first one is the gain control for the microphone. You can turn the attenuation or gain up and down with this button here. As you can see, it's getting louder and quieter. I've got it on full for now. Why not? It is a USB microphone. There is no audio processing or software that comes with it. It is literally plug in and go. The other dial here is the headphone volume. So I've got my headphones plugged in. I can turn the volume up and down. There's another button underneath. I'll show you that in a second. And it's a mute button. And it's very easy to touch. So keep your hands away from that. And then the last thing is on here at the top is a button where you can turn on and off the LED lights. And you can hear that I'm actually pressing on the microphone. And obviously it's a little bit blown out here with the lighting that I've got set up. I mean, if I turned, I'd have to turn the aperture down on the camera, but it doesn't matter for now. You can turn this off if it's and I've just pressed the mute button. So it's very easy to press the mute button. Keep your hands away. The one thing I will say first off the bat is it is quite cheaply made. You would expect that for a $55 microphone. You can hear that if I'm touching the microphone stand or the desk, that sound is going to be transmitted through the body of the microphone. The other thing is that these thumb screws to tighten up this little yoke thing is quite, well, it doesn't tighten up enough for me. So it's quite easy to move the microphone out of the way. Now you can get around that. A few people have actually got some sort of workarounds, and it's just simply just get a couple of washers and put them here and then twist it in. So it's not a deal breaker. But in terms of all that aside, what you want a microphone to do and do well is just convey your audio eloquence in your voice. You want to sound reasonable and you want to have a little bit of rejection in the room as well. So if I'm moving around this side, it is pretty good at rejecting my voice. I'm going to move the microphone further away, obviously, from me and so on. But for me, from what I'm hearing, it doesn't sound terrible. I've got it slightly at a sort of a 45-degree angle anyway. I don't want to sort of go straight into the microphone with the plosives because I don't think it's going to be very good at rejecting the Peter Piper and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to turn it a little bit more towards me to get more of a proximity effect. But effectively, it doesn't sound too bad. I'll take off the windshield now. I'll put it on mute first. All right, taking off the windshield, it's quite cheaply made, the little windshield you can see here, but I mean, it's got a decent capsule on it. I'll just mute and put it back. It doesn't sound too terrible, I don't think. I'm going to play this back and have a listen anyway. I'm not going to put any processing on it. You can plug an XLR cable in the back as well. Then you can run it through your Rodecaster and do more EQ on the voice, put some compression on it. But I thought as a fair test, people who are going to be buying a $55 microphone may not have a $200, $300 audio interface. So let's just, as I said, it's just plugged in via USB-C, straight into the Mac, straight into Ecamm, and this is what it sounds like. So I'll do a few more tests, and we'll come back with some conclusions in a minute. So I had actually noticed that in the previous section, the microphone was the wrong way around. The controls for your volume for your headphones and the gain control for the microphone should be pointing at the bottom, and obviously the mute button, which you can easily touch, is at the top. But I liked it the other way around because it means that I'm not going to accidentally touch the mute button. It's quite sensitive. Even if I just brush my finger across, it will actuate the mute function, which is not always what you want, of course. If you're a flamboyant presenter and you're moving your arms around, you might touch that accidentally. But as I said, the microphone is quite sensitive anyway to desk noise, stand noise, and things like that. So it's best if you try and keep your hands to one side and not bump the desk and things like that when you're using it. Will I use it going forward? Well, I paid for it, so I can obviously find some use cases for it. I don't mind the sound of this microphone. Keep in mind it is $55, but if you are wanting to level up your Zoom calls, doing a podcast for the first time, live streaming, or even doing these YouTube videos, a $55 microphone that you can plug into USB and just get going, why not? You can make it sound better by plugging in an expensive audio interface via XLR, but why bother? I mean, the whole point of this microphone is aimed at people that want to just get going with decent quality. Now, there are a ton of other choices out there for microphones. There are some microphones that are even cheaper than this. I don't have the time or the money to go through and review all of those, but comparing it to the microphones that I typically use, the SM7B, the shotgun microphone I've got here that I use, I mean, it's a really decent microphone. If I'd had this microphone available to me during all my Zoom calls and things that I used to do for work, I'd definitely have chosen this microphone because it's so easy to set up. It sounds pretty good. It looks okay, and you can turn off the LEDs, as I mentioned before, and so on. So, would I buy this and would I recommend it? Absolutely, but just remember it comes with some caveats, and keep in mind that it's not going to be as sound or shock resistant or sound as good as a very expensive microphone. It's not aimed at that. But for me, I like it. I'm going to use it for some of my YouTube videos going forward, so at least you can hear what it sounds like when I'm doing these videos. I quite like the look of it. It's a shame that the yoke isn't white. I may spray that white myself. I don't know why it didn't come in white. I would have expected it to. But anyway, it looks pretty good. Sounds reasonable. Make sure you don't have cables rattling around like I've just done. It can be quite distracting. But anyway, let me know what you think about this microphone. Have you bought one? Are you happy with it? Are you going to buy one? Let me know in the comments. It's a great first step microphone into this YouTube content creation, podcast, live streaming, whatever you want to call it, business. Check it out. $55. You can't go wrong. I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.